Right now, tonight, while you're asleep, there's a small chance your brain is going to trap you inside your own body. You'll open your eyes, you'll be fully awake, and you won't be able to move a single muscle. Scientists call it sleep paralysis. But for over 1,000 years, in nearly every culture on Earth, completely disconnected from each other, people describe the exact same thing happening next. A shadow, sitting on their chest, watching them. Same experience, same detail, same fear. Across cultures that never once made contact. So what is actually happening inside your brain when this hits? And why did almost every civilization in history invent the same monster to explain it? Let's start with what's actually happening in your body, because it's simpler than you'd think. Every night, when you dream, your brain does something remarkable. It switches off your muscles. Every single one, except the ones that keep you breathing. This isn't a flaw, it's protection. Without it, you would physically act out your dreams, punching, running, thrashing, while you were still unconscious. Your brain locks your body down on purpose, so your mind can wander freely without your body following along. Normally, that lock releases the moment you wake up. Your eyes open, your brain flips the switch back, and your body catches up almost instantly. But sometimes, the timing breaks. Your mind wakes up first. Your eyes open. You can see the room, the ceiling, the door. You are completely conscious, but your body is still locked. The switch hasn't flipped back yet, and for anywhere from a few seconds to a few minutes, you are wide awake, fully aware, and unable to move. That alone would be frightening enough, but it's not the whole story. Because when this happens, your brain does something else. The same part of your brain that's supposed to be quiet while you dream, the part that watches for danger, stays switched on. It's still scanning for threats, the way it would in a dream. Except now you're not dreaming. You're lying in a real room, with your eyes open, and your brain is telling you, with absolute certainty, that something dangerous is nearby. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a dream threat and a real one, so it builds one, right there in your bedroom. A shape in the corner, a weight on your chest, a presence at the foot of the bed. But here's the part almost nobody explains properly. Why does it always take that shape? Not a noise, not a flash of light, almost always something alive, watching you. A Canadian researcher named J. Alan Chain spent years collecting thousands of first-hand accounts of sleep paralysis from ordinary people, and he noticed the same pattern showing up again and again. He grouped the experience into two clear stages. First, a feeling that something else is in the room with you, a presence, before you even see anything. Then, physical sensations that follow right behind it. Pressure on the chest, weight pressing down, sometimes the feeling of being touched. Chain's explanation was simple and unsettling at the same time. Your brain has a built-in system whose only job is to detect other living things nearby, a kind of early warning system for danger from other creatures, honed over an enormous stretch of human history when the biggest threat to a sleeping person was another predator or another person. When that system fires with nothing real to detect, it doesn't stay quiet, it fills in the blank. And because it's a system built specifically to sense living things, not sounds or shapes or shadows, what it produces feels alive. That's why the figure in the corner always seems to be watching you back. Your brain isn't inventing a random threat. It's running its oldest, most specific threat detector, the one built to notice another being in the dark, and finding a match where there isn't one. This is where the story gets stranger, because people who experience this, all over the world, across cultures with no contact with each other, describe almost the identical thing. In medieval Europe, they called it the incubus and the succubus, spirits that sat on a sleeper's chest at night. In Newfoundland, fishing communities called it the old hag, an old woman who crept into the room and pressed down on your body while you slept. In Japan, it's kanashibari, bound in metal, describing the exact sensation of being physically locked in place. In Brazil, it's the pisadeira, an old woman with long fingernails who steps onto the chests of people who go to sleep on a full stomach. In parts of the Middle East and North Africa, it's the jinn, a spirit that pins a sleeper down in the night. Different centuries, different continents, different religions, same posture, something sitting on the chest, same detail, a presence watching from the room. Same fear, described almost word for word by people who never read each other's stories and never spoke each other's languages. For a long time, folklorists just noted this as a strange coincidence. Then, in the 1980s, an American researcher named David Hufford spent years interviewing people in Newfoundland who described the old hag experience. He wasn't trying to prove ghosts were real, he was trying to understand why the description was so specific and so consistent. even among people who'd never heard the term before their own experience. What he found changed how scientists studied this. The experience wasn't being shaped by the folklore. The folklore was being shaped by the experience. People everywhere were having the same event, and every culture, independently, built a story to explain it. And here's where it gets darker than most people realize. In the 1980s, doctors in the United States started noticing a disturbing pattern among Hmong refugees who had recently arrived from Laos. Otherwise healthy men, most in their 30s and 40s, were dying in their sleep. No heart disease, no warning signs. They would go to bed and simply never wake up. Doctors had no name for it, so they called it sudden unexpected nocturnal death syndrome. Dozens of cases were recorded in just a few years. An anthropologist named Shelley Adler spent years investigating why this was happening almost exclusively within one community. What she found was that within Hmong culture, there's a spirit called the Dab Tsuam, believed to sit on a sleeper's chest at night and crush the life out of them if they aren't protected by the right rituals. Many of the men who died had reported terrifying nighttime episodes beforehand, episodes that closely matched classic sleep paralysis. Adler's research pointed to something extraordinary. In a community carrying deep trauma, displaced from their homeland, genuinely believing this spirit could kill them, the fear itself may have been enough to stop a heart that was already under extreme stress. The paralysis wasn't the direct cause of death, but the terror it produced, combined with the belief that it was real and lethal, may have been. That's how powerful this experience is. It's not just frightening. In the right circumstances, the fear it creates has been connected to actual deaths. So, here's what nobody really talks about. This isn't a rare, exotic condition. Roughly 8 out of every 100 people will experience sleep paralysis at least once in their life. And it's becoming more common, not less. The biggest triggers are things most people are doing right now, more than ever before. Irregular sleep schedules, staying up late scrolling on a screen, chronic stress, sleeping on your back, which increases the odds significantly, jet lag, sleep debt built up over weeks. Every single one of those has gone up in the last 20 years, not down. We built a world that's more sleep-deprived, more overstimulated, and more irregular than any generation before us. And the ancient alarm system in your brain, the one built to protect you by locking your body down during dreams, is misfiring more often because of it. Now here's the part that actually matters if this ever happens to you. Because it will end. Every single time, no matter how long it feels. It always ends on its own, within a couple of minutes at most. The worst thing you can do is panic and fight it head on. Because the harder you struggle against a body that isn't listening yet, the more real and the more endless it feels. Researchers who study this recommend something almost too simple to believe. Instead of trying to move your whole body at once, focus everything on one small part of it. A single finger, a toe, just that. The lock tends to break in pieces, not all at once, and a small twitch in one finger is often the first crack that lets the rest of your body catch up. Slowing your breathing helps too, taking long, controlled breaths instead of short, panicked ones, because panic is what feeds the sense of danger your brain is already manufacturing, and simply knowing what's happening changes the experience itself. People who understand what sleep paralysis actually is, who know it's their own brain running an old, misfiring alarm and not something in the room, report far less fear during it, and it tends to pass faster. The shape in the corner loses some of its power the moment you recognize it for what it is. Which means the thing people in medieval Europe blamed on demons, the thing fishing families in Newfoundland blamed on an old hag, the thing an entire community once feared could kill them in their sleep, is still happening, right now, tonight, in ordinary bedrooms, to ordinary people, more often than at almost any point in recorded history. We didn't get rid of it. We just stopped believing it was a monster. We started calling it a glitch instead. But the shape in the corner of the room hasn't gone anywhere. Neither has the weight on the chest. Only the explanation changed. Somewhere tonight, someone is going to wake up in the dark, unable to move, absolutely certain something is in the room with them. And for a few seconds, before their body catches up to their mind, they are going to feel exactly what humans have felt for thousands of years. In every culture, in every century, long before anyone had a name for it. Not a malfunction, not a monster, just an old switch, in an old brain, still doing the only job it's ever known how to do.